So here you are. What a year. Olympic gold medal, Canadian Athlete of the Year, and by the way, you're a new papa. Has Disney called you yet about what this year that has been for Damian Warner?
I feel like I'm just adding chapters to my book at this point. It's one of those things that's like, it's been an incredible year, much more than I could have ever expected. Me and my coaches, we set out to try to be an Olympic gold medalist, but who knew that all this stuff would have followed? But it's just been so amazing.
How, when you look back, could you look at all of the different chapters and think about how it all came together? And here, as you're about to celebrate the holidays together, could there have been a better 3 Christmas gifts than you've had?
No, it's one of those things, like, I don't know how you could ever top this year. Right now, I'm not going to try to. I'm just going to kind of sit in this moment and enjoy it. And yeah, the holidays are going to be special for many reasons. It'll be Theo's first Christmas, so we're really excited for that. But it's been a great year for me and my family, and I couldn't ask for more.
I want to talk about all that's happened, but I want to talk about the call you got when you learned you were Canada's Athlete of the Year and the Lou Marsh Trophy winner.
I was here, actually. I was doing a workout and I was running around the track just warming up for my sprints, and my coach and my agent called me over and they're like, "Oh, you have a phone call." And it was Damien Cox, and he shared the news, and yeah, they gave me a big cheer in here, and yeah, it's just, I don't know, I'm speechless at this point, I think, because so many accolades have come my way, and I don't necessarily know what I did to deserve it, but I'm very grateful, very humbled by this whole year, this whole experience that I've had.
How have you been able to stay so grounded?
For me, like, when I was younger, my mom told me that there's always somebody out there bigger than you, smarter than you, faster than you, stronger than you, and I think that she was telling me that so I could stay humble, you know, like, never let your head get too big, and my mom's been the main person for me. So like, whenever I'm doing something, I always ask myself, like, would my mom be proud of this, you know, because she's been through a lot through her life. She sacrificed a lot for me, my brother, and my sister to pursue things like this. So it would only be right if I kind of made her proud in the whole experience as well, and I try to do that every single day, and hope I'm doing a good job.
What's the coolest thing that's happened to you since you got back?
The coolest thing that's happened to me since I got back, I think it was seeing my family. Obviously, I've been to 3 Olympic Games now, and the first 2 I was able to have my family there, so there's nothing like crossing the line and just going up and hugging those people that helped you get there. I didn't have that experience. I was only able to hug Gar, and that was a really cool experience. But being able to come home and hug Jen and hug Theo and hug my mom, and yeah, I think that was the coolest thing that's happened to me. But it's a tough list, because there's been so many great things that I've been able to do this past summer, and so many opportunities that have been given to me, and it's been really special.
When you think about it, it's an extraordinary journey to win an Olympic gold medal, but particularly this year with COVID and everything, and the fact that you really didn't have a facility to train in. You had this makeshift facility that a community had to build, which would have been a disadvantage to some. I think you might have made it an advantage.
Yeah, I think in hindsight there was a lot of advantages, but when you're in the time, it feels like it's nothing but a disadvantage. It was very tough mentally to go on social media and see some of your top competitors in these beautiful facilities, and often competitions and training and competing and doing really well, and you're just like, you feel like you're just falling behind. But the community here wouldn't let me give up, and my coaches and stuff kept me on track, and I think all said and done, after everything is settled, it was definitely an advantage. We learned a lot training in that arena, and definitely prepared me to go into that competition feeling like I could do anything, and yeah, it made me better for the whole experience.
It made you think, hey, I'm glad I picked this sport up, because when you think about it, it was kind of fluky.
Yeah, it was very fluky. Yeah, it was. I look back on that often, actually. I was telling people that when you run the last like 200 meters of the 1500, like, it seemed like everything went into slow motion for me, and you start reflecting back onto these little things, you know, and one of them was this, like, that journey of like how we even got started, and talking to Gar and saying, like, I don't want to do this decathlon thing, you know, like, I wasn't having fun, I wasn't enjoying it, and he's like, no, put your head down, just do the work, you're going to be a world champion one day. And you can't really tell that at the beginning, but it was all worth it. I had dreams growing up to be like a basketball player, or go to the NFL, or do all these different things. I wouldn't change any of that for the position that I am now, because I've been able to meet everybody in my life that's been special to me through this sport. I wouldn't be where I am today without this sport, and I can't imagine any other journey or any other path to take. Big inspiration to me when I was younger.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So Vince Carter was like my idol as a kid. You know, he was the guy where every single day you can turn on Sportsnet and you see him doing like 360s or windmills. And I think as a guy that likes sports, I would always like experiment and try some of those dunks. And I think that kind of like fostered my like dreams to be an athlete.
Could you do his stuff? Could you do Vince?
I could do a little bit. You know, I don't think that there's anybody in the world could do it like Vince Carter, but you can try. And I certainly tried. And there's Vince, and then there's like Donovan Bailey, Katrina LeMay-Doan. Those were probably two of the first people that I ever really learned about as athletes, along with Terry Fox. Terry Fox was one of those guys that every single school in Canada has the Terry Fox run, and you go out there and you learn about his story. And that was one of the things that I took. Like, this guy can run all across Canada, you know, like, can I do this? Can I do that? You know, like, so those guys inspire me to become an athlete and to try things that I otherwise wouldn't try. And I think that the person that I am here today is because of all these experiences and all these people that I've watched. I always try things and see what I can do, and most of the times fail, but I learn from those failures and try to be better next time.
How proud your family, your mom must be, like, to know that her boy is an Olympic gold medalist and all the things that have happened. But you're also on the Walk of Fame, Canada's Walk of Fame. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think you were a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
You're going on the Walk of Fame with Bret Hart.
Yeah, it's crazy. That was another one of those things I was telling in one of the interviews, is that like when I was growing up, we had like one of those wrestling rings and like little action figures. We had like Hulk Hogan, Bret the Hitman Hart, and all these, and we're like, we fight each other in the wrestling ring, and it's like, it's crazy how it's kind of come full circle, and we're just inducted into the Hall of Fame together. And obviously Keanu Reeves too, like he was one of the big names there.
The Matrix,
Every
man.
single kid grew up doing the Matrix, you know, like, so it's even in the theaters now, but it's just incredible to me. Like, sometimes I can't wrap my head around what's happening, but I think as I get older and move on in my life, those things will be more stories that I can tell to my son and to my family, and yeah, it's going to be really cool.
They haven't decided yet.
I know Jan's played such a big role in your career and your life, but how big was having Theo this year on your path towards an Olympic gold medal?
It doesn't happen. I don't think this Olympic medal happens without those two. You know, Jen's been incredible throughout this whole journey, and for everybody that's watching, all the parents out there, you know, it's not easy to be a parent, and there was a lot of times this year where I was away at competitions and Jen was home watching Theo, and yeah, he was in really good hands. And he came at a time where I was at like my lowest. It was around March, where we were training in the arena, and I started having all these doubts.
Doubts about the Olympics.
Doubts about the Olympics, if it was going to happen. Doubts about like my performance, if I was going to be able to perform well under the circumstances that we were training. Then he was born, and it seemed like nothing mattered. You know, like maybe we were sleep deprived, but other things in my life were much more important than what I was doing on the track. I had very limited time on the track during that time, so I knew that when I was going to the track, I was going to make the most of it. And then before you knew it, competitions were coming up, and it was the perfect distraction, and it kind of gave me balance in my life that I didn't have before then, and it's been a change for the better. Going into that competition, there was no doubt, like there wasn't even like a question in my head where it's like, would I finish second or third or fourth? Like, it was almost like that was the only option, like that was going to happen. We were doing an interview after, and they asked my coach, like, when did you know Damon was going to win? And he's like, before the competition started, you know, and I felt the same way. I had those moments come to realization after the pole vault, where I was just like, we're going to win a gold medal today. Like, we were walking back to the bus, and I turned to Gar and I said that, and gave us goosebumps, and it was a really cool moment. But yeah, to cross that finish line and to go up and give Gar a hug, and Dave Zalipka, who was also there with us, it was incredible, because those two guys have been there with me for an extremely long period of time, and there's certainly been a lot of ups and downs, but to have it all come together at the most important competition, the competition that we planned and we dreamed about for a super long time, was it's really cool when that happens, and it's moments, I'll never forget that moment, you know, crossing that finish line. Yeah, it was really special.
That flag you wear on your heart, you carry it into the closing ceremony. What was that like?
It's
even without any fans.
Yeah, you know, it's people ask me that a lot of times, like, what's it like when you get to put on that Canadian singlet? And it's the most special thing. Like, it's hard to describe, because it's something that I was chasing for a really long time, you know. Like, when I was in high school and I first found out about track and field, I wanted to be a long jumper. So I wanted to go to the Olympics as a long jumper, and I had dreams to go to the Olympics. You know, I would see athletes like Perdita and Jessica Zelinka and all these guys with their Canadian outfits on, and I was like, I want that. You know, I want to be able to put that on one day. And going to the competition, it's still like the same. It's like the first day of school where you lay out your clothes the night before, and you get to put the singlet on, and yeah, it's incredibly special. And to be able to go to the closing ceremonies and to be able to wave that flag around for Team Canada was it's one of the most incredible moments of my life. It was also one of those moments where you kind of feel like undeserving because there's so many great people that could have been chosen in front of you, but it's something that you don't take for granted. You go out there and you do it to the best of your abilities, just thinking like, don't fall, try to represent this country to the best of your abilities, and yeah, it's something that I'll never ever forget.
So you have the gold medal. Do you wear it around the house? Do you wear it to bars and restaurants? Does it get you into any places? I mean, how cool! Like when you see that gold medal, when you look at it, what does that represent to Damian Warner?
You know, I always told people that it wasn't the medal that I was chasing. It was, can I be my best when it matters the most? And can I achieve these dreams that I set out? You know, was the words that my mom told me when I was younger that you can do anything you set your mind to, was that true? So that's what I was chasing for the longest period of time. So to achieve that was like the ultimate goal. But to get that medal around your neck, I didn't think it was going to be so special and feel so cool, but it's one of those things that was, it's just amazing, you know, and I think when I go back to these schools and I tell kids you can do anything you set your mind to, and I can show them the medal, they can say like, oh, you know what, this guy came to my school and he spoke 10 years ago and told us you can do anything you set your mind to, and 10 years later he comes back with this medal. Maybe it is a possibility, you know, so the medal means much more to me now, but it's all over the place. I don't really know where it is, but it'll end up in Theo's toy box, I'm sure, at one point in time. But as of right now, it's really special. It's one of my most prized possessions, and it's really cool to show it to people and like feel how heavy it is and have it like lighten up their day. It's really cool.
Yeah. Has it changed you?
Has the
gold medal changed?
The gold medal changed? No, it's still shiny. And
no, but has it changed you?
Has it changed me? I hope not. Well, I hope it changes me because I think that you should grow from any opportunity, but I'm still the same person as I am today. I'm still changing diapers and taking out garbage, so it hasn't changed my life that much, and rightfully so. But yeah, I'm speechless at this point. You know, I can't put it into words. It's just, this whole year has just been kind of more than I could have ever imagined. But it's special is probably the perfect word for it, is because it's given me everything. It's been a dream come true and special.
Well, you've put so much into it. You deserve everything you get. We've got a little something else for you here. So there it is.
Look at this. Wow.
The Lou Marsh Award, Canada's Athlete of the Year. Just another one for the trophy case.
For the trophy shelf at our house. Yeah, we have a shelf that we've been able to put all the awards on with our books and stuff. And there's little stuffed animals that I get from each of the competitions that I go to. So this will go right up there with that. And it's yeah, it's special, especially when you consider all the names that have achieved this award in the past. You know, to be able to add my name to that list is just incredible. And yeah, it's just another one of those awards that I'll be able to have stories about.
And Theo can play with as well.
Theo can play. You can eat a cereal out of it.
Thanks to Dave Washburn, sports editor of the Toronto Star. Thanks to you for this year. You gave Canadians more thrills than anybody else has, and you deserve everything you get. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Awesome. Hey, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.